Welcome back, guys, to More Americans. We are on episode 6 of season 6, the final season. So we have 5 episodes left, including this episode. And Philip, at the end of the last one, after being pulled into everything that's going on with Elizabeth because she said she's going to need his help, he's weighed up the odds, seen what's happening, doesn't want to involve Keri in the end, and has broke the cardinal rule as far as the centre would be concerned, or him or Elizabeth, and warned her, do not go anywhere. If you're going on vacation, do not go to any other country. Don't be cajoled, don't be talked into going to a non-extradition country or a communist country or anything like that, because they're going to use you to get to your father. He didn't say it in that many words, he's just given her the heads up to just stay put. This is going to end with a complete split of the relationship that we've always seen between Philip and Elizabeth, and, well, I don't know what else. I'm intrigued to find out, so let's go carry on. Episode 6.
Tired, going to bed.
Wait.
Stan came by. He was very upset about a couple that was murdered right in front of their 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, and he knows that.
Defector and
I didn't do it in front of their kid.
Yes, you did.
He was in another room. I didn't see him. What do you want me to say?
I'm not doing the thing with Kimmy.
There you go.
Of course you aren't.
No.
You were never going to do it.
No, he was.
No,
actually.
I was.
He met her. Yeah.
You just wanted to fuck her. You weren't getting enough action here.
Really?
You take whatever you want.
Fine. I'll take care of Kimmy. Don't agonize over it.
I warned her not to go to any communist countries.
That's a joke coming
I'm
from
never
her.
going to see her again. It's over.
Done. No more recordings. No more nothing.
I gotta talk to you downstairs.
I don't know, man. Every time I go down there, someone winds up dead.
Easy there, Stan.
That's why I laughed. What now? Excuse me, fellas.
I mean, get it out now.
I'm fine.
Elizabeth got what she wanted. Brutally. She beat you again.
What's going on?
Bistro.
I wonder if at some point, if counterintelligence of the FBI here, whether it stands involved with it or not anymore, whether they manage at some point to piece together all of these different things that they've been investigating, all these bodies that have dropped over the last few years, that they all come down to one couple. I wonder if that will ever come to light.
Before he
In
died,
particular,
one of his
Elizabeth.
diplomatic pouches had a circuit board for some kind of sensor in it.
It picks up radioactivity, or Brooks knows more about it. Ask him.
8 days after Bistro's pouch leaves the country, there's a break-in at the warehouse. 3 guards get killed. He tells us about this man he met in a bar who ended up recruiting him.
They were apparently very intimate.
Yes.
No shit.
We were there.
And illegal?
Oh.
Lives in Skokie, runs an accounting business in Chicago. It's been a gold mine. We've been getting all sorts of intel on how he operates. I know you don't want to be down here, Stan,
But now you
but
should
look
be.
what's going on. A key general in the SDI program, once accused of being a Soviet spy, commits suicide in a public park.
He's piecing this
Then
together.
Bistro and Sofia, the Russians are sitting down with us in public trying to negotiate this big treaty, but behind our backs, they're stealing our weapons and our technology as usual. It's gonna happen fast.
With everything that he's just told Stan then, what they're already starting to piece together, you're like, so they're going through a peace process, but at the same time that it's business as usual. They're stealing our technology, they're stealing our secrets, they're stealing our weapons. You're like, yeah, but an Oleg being here isn't coincidental. He knows that. Think about what the summit means. Think about what changes that could be brought about. I know they don't know the future, we do, but it doesn't take a genius, and Stan is more than intelligent enough to realise that something is adding up here, but not in the natural sense that something is changed, something is off. There seems to be the centre is working on one thing and everything else is pointing to something else. It's an actual divide with the country trying to maintain its grasp.
I talked to Mr. Sato about it, and he said that there were still a few scholarships that I could apply for.
Okay. I know you're trying to help, but Henry, tuition alone is almost $9,000.
I know, Dad, but my friend Jason's dad owns this tannery in West Virginia, and Jason goes down there every year to work. He said I can come too, so...
Oh, what are we talking?
Look, they pay $7.10 an hour, and they put you up.
Wow. He's being mature about this.
I know it's not enough. He's really nice, and you might end up, you know, planning a trip for him. And then he'll tell his rich friends, and then you'll have more clients.
Aww.
This is Rififi, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I walked into Bob the Flamboyant by accident.
It's third time.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the greatest heist movie in history.
Who does that?
Can't believe it's not more packed.
I guess everyone's saving their money for 3 men and a baby.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crap.
Although the original Trois Hommes et un Couffin isn't bad.
Surprisingly good, in fact.
Now, the guys in Chicago may have identified one of Harvest's safe houses. Someone there is paying the utilities in advance. Find out which accounts are being paid the same way. Let me show you this.
Pattern of how they use
Anything on the
safe houses.
wiretaps out there?
Well, they've been picking up something. Maybe telemarketers, maybe coded signals, nothing definitive. They figured out how to get some of his cars. They found 2 vehicles in undercover garages, both bought for cash from listings in the classified ads. You track down the registration of every single car bought with cash in the D.C. area. You start in 1987, work back to 78. You pull together a list of likely fake IDs. You cross-reference them with the rest of what we're getting from the illegal tradecraft. Why don't you take this one, Stan? Work with Samuels.
Fuck!
Smoke?
I can't say no after a French movie.
Are you not curious as to why a woman old enough to be your mother is paying this much attention
The
to you?
director,
Oh,
Jules Dassin.
thanks.
Grew up in Harlem.
I was gonna go get some pizza. You want to tell me more?
I have to be up really early for work.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye. The French connection.
I always smoked. It relaxes me.
Just never saw it much.
I get it.
I guess I smoke more now than I used to. But you're an adult now. I don't have
Stressed.
to hide things from you anymore. I'll make you something.
He's grown up real quick. But I've always been an advocate of that as you know, had I ever been a parent, not that I'm ever going to be one now, but if you stop your kids from doing something, you just make it more appealing. Let them find their own way. If they're going to do drugs, if they're going to smoke, if they're going to drink, they're going to do it without your permission anyway. So I would rather them not hide it from you and have the ability to feel comfortable enough to do it in front of you. That way they're getting in less trouble. That's the way I was raised, and it worked. See, this would ring alarm bells with me as a kid that age.
Rififi.
Like, why are you so interested?
Yeah, I know. Too much work.
No. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm an intern for Sam Nunn, the senator.
Oh, I know Sam.
You do?
Well, not directly, but he works with some people in my firm.
Yeah, I've heard of him. What is it you guys do again?
Consulting.
A middle-aged woman doesn't show interest in your ideas for nothing.
So your friends don't like foreign films?
And she's got to make it about sex.
No, not really.
So you planning on getting into politics?
It's
Not really my thing.
no, that's the way
I'm just
you're
gonna
going
here
to
for
go.
the semester, putting off going home to work for my dad.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Philip.
Yeah, Have a seat.
You're fired.
As you know, we've been under pressure lately.
Made redundant.
And the bottom line is...
I know this.
You do?
You do?
I know you, Mr. Philip. I see stress on your face all the time.
I'm gonna have to let some people go.
Oh, no.
Like you.
I've been over the books 1,000 times. There's no way around it. And I wanted
more.
You to be one of the first to hear because you've been here a long time. Think of you as a friend, Stavros.
You're getting fired.
Me? You're firing me?
Yeah. You're probably on higher
You
pay than
and
the rest of
Lucy
them.
and Steve. I just had to see who wasn't pulling their weight on the sales side. I'm so sorry, Stavros.
Ouch. It's a tough call. It's a tough call when you've got to do that when you run relatively small business and people that have worked with you for years, your class as friends, and you have to sit them down and do this.
We have someone in Chicago just sent an emergency signal. He's under surveillance. See if you can get him out.
Bulgaria isn't gonna happen. Philip wouldn't do it.
We need to talk strategy about Nestorenko as soon as you get back.
I may have someone in Sam Nunn's office.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Chicago.
Now? That's not gonna look good. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and the FBI have stepped this right
What's
up.
going on? We should talk because it's better not to let bad feelings
You
fester.
can take your foreign bullshit and you can shove it up your ass. One of us is in trouble in Chicago, Philip. Someone who's doing his job. Someone who still gives a shit.
Oh, fuck off. She's starting to piss me off as well.
You sure I can't come?
It would raise too much suspicion, it stands.
Should I?
Houston, business emergency.
Okay.
Oh, and Dennis, thanks for putting in a good word.
Oh, sure.
Is this about the job? Yeah.
Hey,
Happy Thanksgiving.
thanks. Come in, come in.
Hi, Stan.
Oh, thank you.
If we get to the end of this show and there is never any reveal, in particular, not so much Elizabeth, but for Philip, to be made aware, especially as he's now no longer in it, as to who Stan really is. So for Stan to know who he really is, and that they've been neighbours all this time, I'm going to be bitterly disappointed if it doesn't come out. It has to, because right all the way back to season 1, when we saw Stan move into the same address, same street, zip code, whatever, I've been waiting for some point for him to figure out who Philip really is. It has to happen. If it doesn't happen, that with the narrative, I'm going to be incredibly upset with the show writers. Honestly, I really am.
Perfect timing. Where's Elizabeth?
I've given up on her now.
On our way to Houston.
Oh, no.
What happened?
We had this client organized a big family reunion. He's pissed. He's the CEO, one of our biggest clients, threatened to drop us. He finally agreed to meet her, but she has to fly down there, so.
I know how it is when work gets in the way.
We'll make sure she gets leftovers at least.
Great.
You know, not everybody around the world wants us to be able to live in peace and freedom. But aren't those the things the Pilgrims came here for in the first place? Because there are people out there who don't like our way of life. They're afraid of it, of us. And we have an administration right now, President Reagan and his people. They know that the only way to get to peace is to stand firm. And believe me, they do wish us harm. Make no mistake about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, end of speech.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I feel it was the right thing for the storyline, in particular in its final season, to pull Philip away from it. It's given us a go-between between Russia and the US and Elizabeth and Stan and the differences, and he's right in the middle of it now.
I wish his commute was a little less straightforward. Makes it easy for them to cover. But we should be able to get him right here.
Just between us, what are the chances we'll pull this off?
Not good.
Not great.
No. This feels like a desperate attempt here. A last-minute, rushed, planned attempt. Why do I have a feeling that this is going to go really catastrophically wrong at this point? Regardless as to what happens with Elizabeth and Philip and Stan and everything, this has been a phenomenal show. When we come to the end of this show, to try and replace something in the same ballpark, something related.
We got 50 guys spread out in 7 offices working the phones.
Hey, we just need one hit.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, can you handle this without Samuels? I need him to help with the priests.
Yesterday, that was nice.
Sorry about the road. It'll come out.
How's Houston?
Cold.
Hot. How's everything there?
Cold.
I love how they do this. The old school way couldn't get hacked. It's analog. It's tangible. You know, this kind of stuff is what won us the war. This art form, this has been lost.
Hello?
Hi. Just calling to see if everything's all right.
I don't know. Not really.
What do you mean?
It's just a hard one.
You might lose the client?
I'm not sure I can accomplish what I came here for. It's just gonna be tough.
Are you asking me to come?
I'll handle it. This is my side of the business.
I don't think that's been working these last few months.
Nobody's asking you to do that.
I know.
You kind of hinted.
Just sit tight. I'm on my way.
Not what I expected, actually. I don't know what to make of that conversation at the end there. Philip saying, might you lose the client here? Might you be the one that gets caught, that gets arrested? Is that why you had the conversation with your son and trying to at least give him a conversation and a memory of you seeming interested? And now he's doubling down and saying, this hasn't been working, like me not helping. So even though the whole Kimmy situation is a moot point now because he's already told her he's not doing that, he feels as though she needs backup here or he could lose her, which I agree that could happen. I did not expect him to offer. She was kind of hinting at it, but then backing it up by saying you don't need to do that, you're not involved anymore. But the whole way we started out the episode, where she just tore into him when he said he wasn't going to do the whole Kimmy situation, and her saying, oh, so you just did it because you wanted to sleep with her then? You're like, he could have done that at any point. Numerous times, she pretty much threw herself at him from day one, and he's never done it. And he only felt the need to cross the line because you pressured him into saying that you need him on this and that you need him to get Kimmy involved and you need to keep getting the recordings. He's now pretty much said that's done and dusted. Kimmy's done. The recordings are done. I'm not involved with that anymore. And now he's turning it around here because I think he feels, even Henry has noticed, Mum's not happy. She seems to have a good life, but she seems really sad. And we know the circumstances as to why. Kudos to the counterintelligence unit with the FBI, him pulling Stan back down and updating him on how they've made all these connections, even down to purchasing second-hand vehicles with cash and cross-referencing all of that, and that because this other guy folded in 5 minutes, that they've got all eyes and ears out there now. That's what's going to make this some particularly dangerous mission. It's this season in particular has been a very, very slow burn, but it's got to gradually, the curve has got to keep going up the further in we get. We've got 4 more episodes to go, and I still don't see a termination of this show and an end to this show with things staying as they are, in particular between our 2 main characters. Interesting, the little dinner with the Stan and the little speech that he made. The look and the faces of Paige and Philip, possibly thinking of completely different things and scenarios. As Stan was mentioning, there are people out there who will intend to do us harm because they're scared of our way of life. Paige being more on her mother's side, Philip being more grounded and more in the middle. Don't know where this is going to end. I haven't a clue. I'm intrigued. Right, I will be back. Episode 7 next. 4 to go. If you do want to watch any of these in full length, you know the score by now. Check the link in the description. They're all available over on Patreon, including all the other shows as well. I will be looking, as I mentioned in commentary, at some point to replace this show when we do get to the end of it with something of a similar nature. I've no idea what it's going to be yet. I would appreciate if you guys can make any suggestions. Something sort of related, if indeed there is anything out there. But while you're down there, don't forget to hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you for episode 7 next. Take care.